Hello everyone, it's Dave and Luke from Wargaming Retreat here, and as an Imperial Guard player, I like tanks. Tanks are like my thing, and I'm the backbone to my army, and I need them. I have crap guardsmen and good tanks. So, Luke, you like killing my tanks, don't you?
I have to kill the tanks to win. I'm not worried about Imperial Guard infantry. I do just have to kill the tanks to win.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a past where this very model of tank has killed, wiped an entire squad in one turn. Which was?
One turn of shooting, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, it didn't have heavy bolters on it like that one does. It had more plasma.
With more plasma, yeah.
Although in the 7th edition it's got a nerf, hasn't it, David?
It's not nerfed. It's still really powerful. It's still really powerful. Look.
And the Rhino door falls down again. Well, no, basically it means the cannon on it, which is the
execution of plasma cannon, is now gets hot. So whereas before you got 3 plasma cannon shots with no rolling for gets hot, now you do.
And believe me, it is almost not worth taking now. I had a game the other day, and granted I did roll very, very poorly. It ended up losing 2 whole points
in one turn.
In one turn, just because it's own firing, and it only fires 3 shots.
Only? Only fires 3 shots, Luke?
Yes.
That's very good. I mean, they're small blasts,
but I mean, only 3 shots, and it...
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, in terms of luck, yeah.
In terms of luck, yes.
But we digress. What is the best way to kill tanks? Or whatever manner of scary vehicle with a very large gun you happen to possess, like... what's that floaty Eldar thing called?
Wave Serpent.
No, that's not scary. The Fire Prism.
Fire Prism, yes, Fire Prisms are scary, yes.
They are the bane of my existence, as Zach
But we're not here to talk about Eldar cheese. Because let's be honest, it's cheesy and it's trickery, and apart from the fact that I'm the biggest heretic going around, they are still Xeno scum. So, the way I deal with tanks. Now, personally, when deploying, I will tend to stick one of these guys, nice little las cannon, either side of the table. Or I use Squad Havocs with las cannons, or Hellbrutes.
Yeah. With
either the multi-melter, which is only 24-inch range, but...
Because I think there is a thing where if you want to kill a tank, the weakest armour, this is pretty obvious really, that is always on the sides of the rear, so your best bet is to make it so I have to show the side of the rear. So that really annoys me when you put anti-tank.
Ultimately, anti-tank spread it as wide across the board as possible. You want some in the middle, some either side. And las cannons are great. Las cannons are brilliant because of the new have to roll 7s.
Well, they're like
which is, I'm not sure if you know, quite impossible on a D6.
To my mind, they are now the Imperium. I don't know, I'm not an expert by any means, but they are now the Imperium's only real way of long range taking out vehicles. And Imperium, I'm counting him, because he used to be the Imperium.
We have a lot of Imperium weapons.
He betrayed us. That's certainly very annoying. But I think there is a thing to be said that I think really the best AT that Imperium gets is, or Imperium derivatives get as well, is multi-melter. Or melter.
Melters.
Because that double rolling is just, it's good.
But for this chappie here, to get to the double rolling, and I'm not sure if you know an Imperial Guard player, but it's very,
well, let's just say I wouldn't take just one. If I was having a melt guardsman, I'd have like 3 in a squad, or I'd have like loads of squads with just 1, because if guardsmen have belter guns, I would have thought you'd understand what I was trying to do with them, so they wouldn't get there, would they?
No, certainly not. But my vehicles are generally all my vehicles are using close combat. You don't have much in the way of walkers, and your only walker is pretty poor.
It's brilliant, I swear, it's awesome.
No, we're going to say it's relatively poor. I mean, the Hellbrute,
Sentinels, yeah.
Granted, the Hellbrute isn't very good. It's not very good at all. But I was looking on the FAQs, and I think it's the Black Library, maybe is that website? No, Black Library does the books.
I can't remember.
It's a Black site, something like that.
Where
has an FAQ for 7th edition on it, and these have actually been reduced by 5 points from the 6th edition rulebook.
I'll tell you about point decreases. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, granted, you've got point decreases in everything across the board.
Oh
essentially.
yeah. Well, no, not
Well, no,
everything.
other than certain things that needed a nerf.
Layman Russes are now just I can buy them so cheaply. Well, not so cheaply. I spend generally rule of thumb. So obviously, I not everywhere. I generally save about 20 points on every Layman Russ I buy compared to last edition for Guard, which is nothing.
So alternatives to las cannons and melters, which are tremendously good, and I'd say they're better for me to use than you because I can use them on things like this, a biker, where if I infiltrate, I am within melter range turn 1, essentially.
Yeah, but I think the point needs to be made. But if you're going to put all your heaviest AT into one basket, yeah, kind of thing.
It's
like
not
this.
really, no. These are a suicide unit. Granted, you can give them toughness 6, and that is the bane of your existence.
I hate that too. Just can't kill them. The issue is if you have one spearhead of AT, I think you need a few bits. If you're going against a tanky army like me, you need a few different types of AT. You need to spread it out. Like this guy and his group of 9 bikers with all their toughness 6, they are very hard to kill. But I know I have to kill them.
They are definitely a suicide unit.
I think the thing is with your las cannons, I can. Don't get me wrong, it's not a good idea to ignore them, but I can take being shot at by your las
Certainly, and this is a very... playing against Imperial Guard.
Chances of you blowing up a tank every turn with your las cannons is so minute. I mean, the only surefire way, I think, for you to kill my tanks just like that is with...
Close combat.
Close combat.
Or melters.
Or melters. And the issue is, if he's got these chaps, I know that they're going to hurt me, though I'm going to try and wipe them out before you get there.
I mean, the only...
I've only done that like once or twice, and I've managed to kill all your bikers before they did anything.
Yeah.
But
I think the only real alternative to using melters or las cannons as effective AT, really 100% effective almost all the time, is to use something like this guy here.
We should have had them here starting, shouldn't we?
Well, I didn't realise I'd be doing this. This, as you probably are fully aware, is a Terminator. Well, this is a Terminator Lord. But Terminators are brilliant because you can equip them with the multi-melters. Well, combi melters.
Yes.
Not multi-melters at all. That'd be so broken. And power fists. And although they don't get to assault turn, the first time they do strike, and there's that, do I run them to make them spread out so one lucky battle cannon shot doesn't kill them all? Or do I shoot and try kill the thing?
I think with your Terminators, your Terminators will survive most of the time because well, no, I suppose the issue with Terminators is they can take a lot of hits, but the problem is I know they can... Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I know they can take a lot of hits. I know they can deal lots of damage, so I try and kill them. So this is, again, the thing. You can't just get one piece of AT. You need more than one, I think.
Definitely.
You need to spread them out.
At least 3. My advice would be at least 3.
And I think you need to use the... you need to be a bit psychological in how you use them. You've got to make something seem like it isn't a threat. Make it look like a nice, cute, cuddly bunny rabbit rather than a scary Terminator Lord with 3 power fists and a chainsaw thing. Whatever.
He doesn't play much in the way of Marines.
My guardsmen aren't that scary. They're
not scary. We'll stop.
They are scary. They are scary. They are. I swear. I get like hundreds of them. But they're not my AT. My AT is in my Russes. And I think the best thing I can get now, and I'm considering taking them more to deal with your armour when it eventually arrives, and Zach's armour.
I mean, as a Chaos player, I don't generally tend to have much armour. And your armour, it's interesting. Playing against Imperial Guard is not normal. Their armour is not normal. How often? You don't very often at all, other than Land Raiders, which are definitely not worth their points cost. I'd advise 100% against taking them. They are just not worth it. They're cool. They're good fluff-wise, but in a more... I won't say competitive, because competitive play is not very fun, but...
Well, no, I don't...
Well, not necessarily very fun, but...
It's not your thing.
It's not my...
It's not his
It's
thing.
not your thing either.
Not really, no. I like to win.
Hard list, yes, for a challenge, but why not just go a bit silly? But Land Raiders are... I'm not going to say silly, they're ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. They're just not worth free. And they're the only other things, really, that have armour 14 out there. There are really aren't many.
No, monoliths.
Monoliths do, but who really brings monoliths?
You can have monoliths banned. That would be scary. I mean, you'd have like
but
that unbreakable line of big.
A very slow moving.
Lame Russ only moves 6.
Yeah, but I suppose the size of a monolith compared to how far it moves, the size of a Lehman Russ compared to how far it moves, it looks like it's moving a lot further than what it is in comparison to a monolith, which is huge and it just goes one body length a turn. It will never get there.
This is where we disagree.
Oh, we often disagree there.
We often disagree.
There's another form of anti-tank, flyers, and certain types of flyers more than others.
Vendetta. Just throw that out. Vendetta, 3 twin-linked las cannons.
One of the best, although it's been nerfed now, and it is only enemy flyers, isn't it? Vector striking that you'll get D3 attacks against.
Yes, I believe so. I was talking about that to Zach the other day. I think so.
But this, although it only gets 1 hit, and it's a Helldrake, so it's actually strength 7, which is a bit better than normal. Strength 7. And this is why you magnetise your models.
Yes, magnetise your tanks, because otherwise they're like clown cars with a
Yeah, they really are. Strength 7, AP 2, when you fly over them, that is a good, and it hits always against side armour. Don't know if you know that.
Can I just make an announcement to the community? I am buying a Hydra next week, and...
No, because, well, the next thing for both of us, I suppose, is Flames of War.
Oh, yes.
You're getting more Flames of War, I'm getting more Flames of War, but that's a totally different video. That's a different discussion.
That's different tanks. Yeah.
Different tanks, they're a bit smaller.
Yeah.
In fact, you could park a Flames of War tank in the back of a Rhino.
That is so cute. Yes, you could.
They're like this little Cyclops
I
thing
want to see that.
Dark can get.
Yes.
The Chimeras.
I think, yeah. I think that probably my favourite piece of AT though is, and I don't know whether this is because it's especially good or not, but my favourite piece of AT is a Vanquisher cannon. And a Vanquisher cannon is, I can't remember exactly, I think it's 8.2? I think it's 8.2.
Strength 8 AP2,
yeah. Strength 8 AP2, and it's got armour bane. So you're rolling 2 dice for penetration each time, and
it's essentially a long range melter.
Yeah, and you've got 72 inches of range, so it's like I can sit back with
it's
a
72-inch melter without the melter rule, so it gets its 72 inches. Essentially, just goes screw you to all the opponent's armour.
Yeah. This thing is like guard tank hunter, but the thing is, the gun, it can't do anything to anything else. It can only really fight tanks. Otherwise, it's like, you know, it's not really very good at anything else but fighting tanks. But of course, being a Lehman Russ, you can mount it with all sort of nasties on the sponsons. So if you do happen to get close, I'll blast you away with 9 bolter shots or something like that.
See now, you're on about tank versus tank now.
Am I?
Essentially.
Okay, I am.
The Decimator engine, it looks a hell of a lot like a Hellbrute for Chaos. The Decimator engine, it stands about that much, about that tall.
I'm scared of the Decimator.
It's quite expensive. Physically, to buy, it is, off the top of my head, about £55, which is a lot for a model.
When I say each Lehman Russ is 31 quid, so
it's a Forge World model. You have to go on Forge World to get it, which is, I imagine, why it's something more expensive. As we know, Forge World is.
Yeah.
The minis are amazing. They look gorgeous. Probably better than Games Workshop ones. The flat out Games Workshop.
I think that's personal preference again, because
I like it's a bit more variety to what you're used to.
Yeah. I think, it's because of the variety, probably. I mean, I think their avatar looks better.
Oh, definitely. It's a big avatar, how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
But the Decimator, if you give it the heavy conversion beamer, it gets more powerful of range. Although you can't move and fire it.
That scares me a lot. And mainly because I've talked to Zach rather than actually facing it. I suspect I've been...
Oh, no. It did mess him up.
Yeah, I know.
And this guy's really hard to kill as well. But...
Which is ironic.
At range 48 to 72 inches. At range 48 to 72 inches, it is a strength 10 AP1 large blast. Granted, it gets weaker. There's 3 categories. The first one's strength 6 AP nothing. I think the second one's strength 8 AP4, and the third one is a 10 AP1.
Okay.
And that is where so you want to keep this back. You want to keep it in the back corner.
Another announcement to the community. I will also be buying a Death Strike missile next week. All that strength D goodness across the table.
Nice, cheesy options.
How is that cheesy?
I suppose
It's
all it is
not
after
cheesy.
that is an armoured heavy bolter.
Yes, and it can't fire first turn.
This can fire first turn, by the way, which is what makes it so good.
And it can only fire once.
Then the Decimator has lots of other special rules, make it quite nice. But it's a good, solid infantry killer as well as armour killer. It's a large blast, strength 10 AP1. That's really, really solid.
I'll tell you about another large blaster, which is the Demolisher.
And it's essentially it is a
Demolisher
cannon
that can
without
fire over there somewhere.
the drawbacks. Essentially, the drawbacks of the Demolish cannon is it's 24-inch range.
Yeah,
very short range.
And the fact it's 180 points.
Oh no, this with the beamer it's mid 200s perhaps, early mid 200s, somewhere around there.
So I could get a properly pimped out Lemon Rust.
Although it's 100. I think it's 195 points standard. Plus,
what does its standard come with?
It's 230 points.
Okay.
Standard, it comes with 2 siege claws, which I shall get onto in a minute.
Are they like giant power fists?
They're really, and that's it.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay.
And the siege claws, they're essentially better power fists. However, when in close combat, if it smash attacks, which granted that's got nerfed and everything else, if it smash attacks and penetrates an enemy building or transport, all of the models inside take D6, that's not good, D6 heavy flamer hits per siege claw. So say it smashed, or smash attacks reduced to 1. Say both of them got through.
I think to my mind, I'm
4d6 standard heavy flaming hits on the crew side. That's crispy crew, especially if they're guard.
Yeah, but to my mind, if you're in melee with my vehicles, they're dead anyway. So
it's more guys inside though. Because what's the worst kind of?
Yeah,
I blow up.
if
I kill 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I blow up. I incinerate the crew.
Yeah, but as I said, to my mind, if you're in melee with a Chimera, the Chimera is already dead.
As we found out with Typhus versus Chimera.
Yeah, but
it didn't last very long.
It's a Chimera.
It lasted 1 swing. That was it.
It's a lunchbox with a better gun. I call rhinos lunchboxes. I think they look like a lunchbox. Not necessarily the Chaos one, which is a bit pointy, but...
You are doing something wrong if you're sending your child to school with a lunchbox covered in spikes with heads mounted on them. Yeah. Just going to put that out there. Bad parenting advice. That's bad parenting advice.
Yeah,
you can't even possibly argue that it is good parenting.
I might raise my children guardsmen.
What, cowards?
No, there'll just be lots of them, but they won't be very good at exams or anything.
if I have enough, one of them's bound to.
Yeah, one of them will get through, sort of thing. That's a bit mean.
Oh. I ain't going to show this video to your kids when they're older. And have them cry as their daddy states that maybe if I have enough.
Yeah. Well, that's
Oh, alternatives as well. Warp smiths.
Stripy gun. Get a stripy gun.
Get a stripy gun. Yes. Warp smiths.
Why does he have a stripy gun?
Enemy vehicle. It's armours.
Yeah, I know, but
it's
why?
like hazard stripes.
Yeah, but why? Everyone knows it's a gun. It's dangerous. Is it like warning? This is a bolter.
It's just warning. Well, no, because the Iron Warrior.
Warning. This bolter may kill people.
That's actually a common now,
Has it got bolter in it? Has it got a bit of a bolter in it? Yes, it has. I'm right. It's a bolter.
No, because then you could argue
it's a flaming bolter.
As you know, flaming bolters
was a combi flamer.
Are Thousand Suns because of the AP3 goodness.
Why is that guy facing the wrong way? There we go. That's better.
Yeah. I mean,
there we go. That's our talk a little bit about AT. We talked about other stuff such as stripy guns, Helldrakes, lunchboxes.
Parenting advice.
Parenting advice.
From a 17-year-old and 18-year-old is obviously going to be very, very sound.
Very, very sound. Very sound. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Wargame Retreaters.
I would like to call you Retreaters, but that's it.
That'd mean your guardsman. Your guardsman.
Yeah, David's the only retreater around here. So we shall see you in the next episode of Warhammer 40k tips, advice, tactics.
I think it's probably more of a philosophical discussion about the...
Alright then, we'll see you in the next episode of the Warhammer 40k.
I wanted to say something.
discussion. And come on then, you finish it. You
A
start.
philosophical discussion about the why should you kill a tank? Why would you want to kill a tank? And what is the best way to do it? We'll see you in the next one.